Tonight on News 5, we begin with breaking scenes of fear and chaos in Belize City. Clinton Powell is shot and killed as residents run for cover while police and gunmen exchange fire along East Collet Canal. And in Franks Eddy, a violent home invasion. Tour operator Bradley Paumen shot while defending his family as police close in on the attackers. Plus, inside the nation's flagship hospital, a surprise move at the KHMH, the board tapping an internal candidate to steady the ship and lift staff morale. Also, a high-stakes constitutional fight. Activist Jerry Enriquez takes his redistricting battle all the way to the Caribbean Court of Justice. And BTL in the hot seat, pressed by the Public Utilities Commission over an unapproved merger. All that and more. News 5 starts right now.
World, we believe technology shouldn't just be functional. It should make your home uniquely yours. Design your smart home with the full range of Samsung appliances and TVs. Equip your kitchen with smart and stylish fridges, advanced microwaves, and whisper quiet dishwashers, bringing smart living to the heart of your home. Make daily tasks simple with efficient smart washers, powerful dryers, or an all-in-one laundry hub that adapts to your lifestyle. Experience true-to-life colors and spot-on sound with the Samsung Q LED Smart TV. Connect all your spaces instantly with the Smart Thing app for seamless control wherever you go. Get all your Samsung products today with the peace of mind that only the 1-year warranty from the authorized distributor can give you. So stop by your favorite location and start designing your smart home today. Only at Cellular World.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, March 12th. I am Sabrina Daly. Chaos unfolded in Belize City today as a brazen midday gun battle between police and two armed men sent residents scrambling for safety. What began as an attack on siblings Clinton and Keandra Powell quickly escalated into a dangerous chase through one of the city's busiest areas, forcing civilians, including children, to run, hide, and even jump into the canal to escape the deadly exchange. Tonight, we take you inside those terrifying moments along East Collet Canal and bring you the first-hand story of a man who suddenly found himself in the middle of the madness.
Just before midday, chaos erupted along East Collet Canal in Belize City. Police, locked in a high-speed chase with two armed men, opened fire near the bustling Conchal Bay Market, right along one of the city's busiest stretches. In an instant, shoppers, vendors, children, everyone scrambled for safety. Some even leaped into the murky canal to escape the bullets flying overhead as the gunmen returned fire at police. One eyewitness who spoke with News 5 said he had to duck into a nearby yard just to avoid getting caught in the crossfire.
But it's so confusing that the police to shoot and the civilian to shoot at the same time. They're like a shootout. Yeah. You know, because they like must about at least 20 shot bus off. 20, I'd say like certain people said that 30 shot, but I'd say like 20 odd. Yeah. But a lot of shooting, you know.
How are you though?
All way I do, I run in our yard because I see my friend that they run, I know that I don't know part of it too, you know. Yeah. Because in his life right now, the devil busy. So all way I do, I run in the yard, the officers look for me, all of that, you the part of it, come, no big man, who are the part of it? I the fisherman, yeah. I just think I tell that.
Police shot and wounded one of the gunmen, catching him moments later on a dead-end street. Officers stayed on the scene searching for his weapon, eventually concluding he had tossed it into the river. The injured suspect was rushed to the hospital. Police nabbed the second gunman on a nearby street and reportedly recovered a firearm. Tonight, one of the suspects, Ryan Barnett, has been confirmed dead.
I wouldn't expect that just walking out there, so we go buy something for it, you have to run for your life.
Imagine that.
Right?
A lot of people made about.
Yes, and then you have camera. But right now in a society, the youths and other things, and also do things.
The chase and shootout began moments after two gunmen opened fire at a food truck on East Collet Canal. Their targets were siblings Clinton and Keandra Powell. Clinton, who had survived two previous attempts on his life, wasn't as fortunate this time around. He died while receiving treatment at the KHMH. Police found as many as 30 expended shells at the scene. A mobile patrol was nearby, allowing officers to respond within seconds.
Back here, so that one way in, one way out, and for years we haul up boat and we take off engine. Back here, so that like for boats, for fishermen. Back here, don't have nothing for doing, no bad people. Yeah. So when I run back here, so I like to say that was confuse people, and we believe that people have to be careful when people they come wrong right now because they want to shoot off for nothing. Yeah. So you have to try to put a fence right now. Eventually, we try to put a fence back here. You know our luck. Because you know if you don't know about nothing right now for dead. Society is very serious right now. You could want to change your life, you could do anything, but just doing wrong, the wrong people at the wrong time, it could make you lose your life. I get up this morning, I never expect I may have to run, never expect a policeman to put a gun for me, all of you the part of this come, big man had to run for my life. I live here.
You see people jump the water?
Yes, man jump the water. I did two of my bedroom, one at the end of the boat, but one I reach way under the stand.
Residents are still rattled by how fast a simple midday errand turned into a fight for survival. And even with one suspect dead and another in police custody, the community is left asking hard questions about the rising cycle of violence and the growing danger ordinary Belizeans face just going about their day. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
We turn now to the Belize Police Department for official details on the troubling attack that has left the community shaken. Here's Staff Officer Stacy Smith with additional information on the deadly encounter.
Police are investigating an incident which resulted in the death of two persons and the injury of another. Initial investigation suggests that siblings Keandra Powell, 27 years of age, and Clinton Powell, 29 years of age, were at a stall on East Collet Canal at approximately 11:15 a.m. when they were fired upon. Officers on patrol in the immediate area responded to this incident, and the indication is that a third person, namely 40-year-old Ryan Barnett, who the indication is that he's a suspect in that shooting incident, may have been shot in the course of police's response. Both Clinton Powell and Ryan Barnett have since succumbed to the gunshot injuries that they sustained, and Keandra Powell is reported to be in a stable condition. Police investigation continues.
Would you be able to say if this incident had any correlation to the murder of Edward Saldano that occurred last week?
We are not able to conclusively say so. However, that is an area that is being explored.
Can you speak about the retrieval of the weapon as well? I understand that they had to go into the canal to locate the weapon.
I have not received any official update on that. Further information will be provided as to this investigation at the next briefing.
A frightening home invasion in Frank's Eddy Village sent shockwaves through the community on Wednesday evening. Well-known tour operator Bradley Paumen is tonight recovering in the hospital after he was shot multiple times while trying to protect his family. Paumen, the owner of Dark Night Cave Tubing Adventure Park, had just arrived home at around 5:30 with his two children. But moments later, when he stepped back outside and returned, he found his door locked. his wife and kids trapped inside with 3 masked intruders. What followed was a desperate struggle to keep his family safe, a confrontation that left Paumen seriously injured. News 5's Brittany Gordon takes us inside the ordeal.
Tonight, well-known businessman Bradley Paumen is counting his blessings after a terrifying encounter at his home in Franks Eddy left him with gunshot wounds. What began as an ordinary evening, picking up his kids from school, settling in, and getting ready to make dinner, quickly spiraled into a moment no family ever wants to face. Paumen says that stepping outside for just a moment, he returned to find something no parent wants to discover. His front door suddenly locked, and an overwhelming feeling that something was very wrong. Moments later, that instinct proved true.
When I got back, 10 minutes later, the hamburgers and the hamburger meat and the buns were on the steps, which I was surprised my 9-year-old son Johnny would set them there and not take them in the house. But then the door was locked, and so I found on the door that you guys accidentally locked the door. But these 3 people, burglars or whatever, they had already, when I dropped the kids, were hiding in the bushes and ran up and grabbed the kids and took them into the house. And then they held a gun to my 9-year-old son's head and told my wife, Celine, to have to go get out the safe and the money for him and all the rings and jewelry and stuff before they kill him.
Paumen says the robbers flung the door open and attacked him, leaving him with cracked ribs and bruises. They stole cash, jewelry, and the family's sense of safety. One gunman shot Paumen in the chest, the bullet exiting through his back. As his young children watched, he feared he wouldn't survive, especially after catching a glimpse of one of the attackers' face.
I was parents, they were going to kill me. I felt anyway, so I tried to throw the guy with the gun off the railing, and he shot me in the chest. Came out by my bachelor here. So anyway, the other guys pulled me to the ground. They wanted a combination for the safe, or they were going to kill me, and I told them that the safe wasn't working. I mean, we had to find the key, which was true. And one of the other guys went down. They knew I had payroll in my pickup, so they went down, got the payroll, and the guy that had the gun, during the struggle, I pulled his mask off so I could see what he looked like. I could see him. He was right in front of me then. And he said, "No, I got to kill you because you saw me."
Paumen says a jammed gun saved his life, as the attackers tried several times to shoot him in the head. He believes the assault was driven by money, not a targeted attempt to kill him. This isn't Paumen's first brush with danger. His name made headlines in 2016 when he was charged with abetment to murder amid a long-running land dispute with businessman Michael Madiri. For now, Paumen says he's leaving the investigation in police's hands.
I have no idea there. I think to me, it was a money deal. It was, they wanted, they took the money out of my front pocket. I always took my billfold and stuff. So they were after as much money, and they wanted my wife's jewelry and jewelry that was left from my mom that I gave to my wife and stuff that would be passed down. So they wanted everything. Even the kids, where we put the dollar coins and the 25-cent pieces, then they took that.
Paumen's residence is located a short distance from his business, Dark Knight Cave Tubing Adventures. Dark Knight site manager Benjamin Mass was still at work when the attack unfolded, and he drove Paumen to the Western Regional Hospital. He says tours continued today as usual, but the company has now doubled security on the property.
We have doubled up on security both in the front and at the back. We have a security 24/7, and we are in contact with the police, and they're doing several patrols here more often.
And how is this affecting the tours that you guys currently have going on?
It's not affecting the tours. As I said, this is an isolated situation. It could happen anywhere, on the road, anywhere. So it doesn't affect the tours. It didn't happen on the tour side, didn't happen anywhere close to tours.
Palmen believes the gunman entered his property through the river and wants them to be caught quickly to prevent another attack. He says the ordeal has left his family traumatized and hopes no other family has to face something so terrifying. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
Police have made a breakthrough in the frightening home invasion that rocked Frank's Eddy village, capturing one of the men believed to be behind the armed attack on well-known tour operator Bradley Palmen. Tonight, investigators say they're closing in on the rest of the crew. Police offered new details on the assault and the ongoing push to track down every suspect involved, signaling that the hunt and the fight for justice is far from over.
The investigation commenced at approximately 5:40 p.m. on 11 March 2026, when police were advised that a male person, namely Bradley Palmen, a 68-year-old Belizean businessman of Frank's Eddy village, was at the Western Regional Hospital being treated for gunshot injuries. What we have learned so far in the course of the ongoing investigation is that Palmen was at his residence in Frank's Eddy village, along with other members of his family, when three masked male persons are reported to have entered that residence. One of the male persons was armed with a firearm, and they made demands of the family that they handed over items that were in their possession. A struggle ensued between Mr. Palmen and the armed male person, and during the course of that, Mr. Palmen is reported to have received those gunshot wounds. The male persons escaped with items of property belonging to the occupants of the house, and police have since detained one person in course of the ongoing investigation and are seeking two others.
Have you guys been able to ascertain if the perpetrator was someone that worked for him? Because we went there today and it's pretty far, so it's someone that would have to know where the place is.
The details of the investigation that has been disclosed is the extent to which the department wishes to disclose. As stated, it's an ongoing investigation, and there are two other persons that police are seeking.
The probe into the mysterious death of an elderly Canadian man remains active tonight after his body was recovered from a drifting catamaran more than 60 miles offshore on Wednesday. The vessel, last seen leaving Livingston a week ago, drew attention when the cruise ship MSC Divina reported a distress call and rescued a woman who said her husband had suffered cardiac arrest. But when Belize's rescue team boarded the abandoned catamaran Wednesday morning, they found the man's body and signs of blood, raising new questions about what happened during the couple's voyage. Tonight, police shared more details on the investigation.
On Wednesday, 11 March 2026, police were advised by the Belize rescue team that they were escorting a catamaran, namely Melinda, that was found drifting some 60 miles off the coast of Belize. The person from the Belize rescue team also advised police that on board that vessel was the body of a male person. The investigators, as well as the scenes of crime technician, awaited the arrival of the vessel, and upon boarding it, they confirmed that, in fact, a deceased person who was later identified to be Thomas David Harman, a 72-year-old British Columbia, Canada, was discovered. The scene was processed by scenes of crime technician, and the body now awaits a post-mortem examination. What we know so far is that the vessel is believed to have departed Honduras around the 9th of March, and sometime during that day, a distress signal was sent to the Honduran authorities. This information was communicated, and efforts were made by both the Honduran authorities as well as Canadian authorities to locate the vessel with a view to bringing it to shore. Communication was made by the Honduran authorities to the Belize rescue team, and they were advised as to the specific location, and they were able to go out and make that rescue and bring the ship to the catamaran to dock.
In the process of your investigation, have you been able to locate or identify the woman who was on board with him?
Yes, we have received indication as to the female that was on board. What I can see is that she is reported to have been rescued by a cruise ship that was in the area, and her identity has been known, and she would have communicated with a relative of the deceased Mr. Harman about the incident.
The police believe that foul play was involved based on the evidence that was found on the scene.
It is an ongoing investigation. We are awaiting the results of the post-mortem to make a determination in that regard.
Investigators are working to uncover what unfolded on the drifting catamaran after finding the Canadian's body and signs of blood miles out at sea. After the break, why government says it's steady even as Washington urges a closer look at Belize's investment climate.
Smart for everybody. Smart leading everything. Smart give you everything. Smart offer everything. Smart give you everything. North to the east and the south and the west. Smart are the best, darling. Double up my data and give me all the text. In fact, give me a plan for my family. Unlimited calls, so me like it. And Smart make everybody feel happy. Bringing people together, me want it now. Smart got love for everybody. Me want my Smart plan, want it right now. Me want my Smart plan, want it right now. More bundles, data plan. Me want my smartphone, internet in my hand. Call me want my Smart plan, want it right now. Smart, stay connected, stay happy.
Healing streams, a moment of love, a moment of grace, a moment of His power. You can put your hand wherever you want this power to be manifested.
The freak. No, I can't jump, I can't walk.
Healing streams this March will be something like the world has never seen before.
Get up and
Get ready.
Haven't updated your information recently? Well, kick off the new year as a winner. RF&G Insurance is giving you a free chance to win every month. Entering is easy. Just chat with us on WhatsApp and update your information. That's it. You'll be automatically entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win awesome prizes. Don't wait. Message us on WhatsApp and update your info today. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
The NEBL heads into weekend number 4 on Friday night. The Belmopan Trojans try to bounce back into the winning column against the number 1 team in the league, the Orange Walk Running Rebels, 8 p.m. at the UB Gymnasium. Then on Saturday night, a big showdown of the ballers as the high-flying Kayo Western Ballers is locked and ready to crush the powerful and tall Dangriga Dream Ballers, 8 p.m. at the Victor Galvez Stadium. And in Corozal. The Corozal Spartans look to turn their season around with their first win against the Biting Tiger Sharks from San Pedro in their home opener, 8 p.m. at the Andre Campos Civic Center. The NEBL Girls Plus performance by Yastalia. Giveaways at all games. And at halftime, the big National Sports Council $5,000 shooting challenge. So make this weekend an NEBL weekend. Sponsored by the Government of Belize.
For any project, big or small, Best Screws provide strength, efficiency, durability, and affordability. Get the screws specifically designed for your next project. Get Best Screw, the power to build, the strength to last. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
The Social Security Board's new whistleblower reporting system makes it easy and confidential to speak up by reporting misuse of the Social Security services and benefits, including fraud, misconduct, false claims, and more. If you know of any unethical or illegal activity relating to SSB benefits, claims, or personnel, go to ssbspeakup.integrityline.com or use our toll-free hotline 0800-SPEAK-UP. 0800-773-2587. This confidential reporting system is a way for you to report concerns or incidents privately without fear of reprisal. Your submission is confidential and anonymous. The Social Security Board is committed to providing a secure, confidential medium for whistleblowing that promotes organizational accountability and enhances public confidence in our services.
Glenfield Dennison was caught trying to charge BTL for negotiations on behalf of former workers.
He insists he never charged the workers group a cent and claims the invoice was only a negotiating tactic.
If the invoice was just a negotiating tactic, why would Dennison ask BTL to pay the legal fees as part of settlement? And if BTL had agreed, who would have received payment? Dennison, of course, because he sent the invoice the day after the last negotiations to be considered with the 4.5% interest requested by BCWJ. What's worse, the cost of legal work submitted is grossly inflated. Those are senior counsel rates, and Dennison is not a senior counsel. As to the tax identification number on the invoice, no such TIN number is registered with GST. So, we must also ask whether he is licensed with the FIU as required. There's also the question of whether as a Crown Counsel Dennison violated the public service rules which state a judicial and legal officer shall not engage in any private legal work or private business of a legal nature. It's time for him to stop the games and come clean.
Belize is brushing off concerns after a letter from the chairman of the U.S. House Foreign Affairs Committee called for a review of the country's investment climate and institutional checks. Instead of pushing back, the government projects confidence, saying Belize remains a steady democracy with a strong track record of cooperation with Washington. Officials say they'll share whatever information the U.S. needs and view the inquiry as an opportunity, not a threat. They point to recent gains, about $505 million in foreign investment over the past 2 years, driven by new laws, digital reforms, investor incentives, and closer ties with the private sector. Belize also touts its strong regional standings, second lowest perceived corruption in Central America, and third in rule of law, as proof that governance and the judiciary are improving. The government highlights upgrades to court facilities and efforts to cut case backlogs as signs it's serious about building a stronger justice system. One unresolved issue still looms nonetheless: the controversial compulsory acquisition of the Stake Bank extension. The High Court ruled the move constitutional, but the case is now before the Court of Appeal, leaving officials tight-lipped while the matter plays out. After nearly 5 months without a permanent chief executive officer, Chief Financial Officer Shireen Reyes has been selected to lead Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital. bringing an end to a long search that followed the October 15th departure of former CEO Chandra Nisbet Cancino. During the vacancy, the country's only tertiary-level public hospital operated under an interim management structure, while the board evaluated a slate of 5 finalists. Those shortlisted candidates included Assistant Administrator and former Acting CEO Timothy Segura, former Immigration CEO Gilroy Middleton, Labor Administrator Anne-Marie Thompson, and medical practitioner Gilda Diaz-Hall. Hospital sources say the newly appointed chief executive emerged as the candidate with the strongest support among staff, an important factor at an institution where internal backing has not previously played a decisive role in leadership opportunities. But the new CEO steps into the role at a delicate time. The hospital continues to face challenges with staffing, financing, and patient care, and may soon be navigating a regional geopolitical issue: the possible withdrawal of Cuban medical professionals due to pressure from the United States. The new chief executive officer must now stabilize leadership at the country's most critical healthcare institution while preparing it for what could be a difficult transition ahead. A long-running fight over Belize's election system landed before the Caribbean Court of Justice today, as Jeremy Enriquez pushed to revive his stalled redistricting challenge. Backed by senior counsel Anand Ramlogan and King's counsel Peter Knox, Enriquez is contesting a series of Court of Appeal rulings that blocked his bid to delay the 2025 general election until electoral boundaries were updated. His case, first filed in February 2025, argues that outdated divisions violate Belizeans' right to equal representation. But the legal battle quickly got tangled in procedure. The Court of Appeal struck out 3 of his appeals, one tied to the High Court's dismissal of his injunction, one over a wasted costs order against Ramlogan, and another after Enriquez tried to have Justice Tawanda Hondura recuse himself. Now at the CCJ, Enriquez hopes the regional court will give his claims new life. And behind today's technical arguments is a bigger question. Can Belize head into another election without fixing long criticized inequalities in constituency sizes?
There are 3 applications for special leave, and we will address those in the context of the orders made at the case management hearing, whereby we seek to treat the hearing of the applications as the substantive hearing of the appeals itself. My lords, the genesis of these matters arise out of a claim filed on the 10th of February 2025, which seems a rather long time ago now in retrospect. And that claim is a constitutional claim that had to do with a provision in the Belizean Constitution that requires redistricting to ensure there's an equality of votes. And I close by saying this. This is an entirely exceptional case, and the axis of this case is located in the fertile soil of the constitutional right to a fair hearing. Bias is inextricably and obviously intertwined with the concept of the right to a fair hearing. And in this case, this is the apex court, and our complaint is that our right to a fair hearing has been compromised.
In paragraph 12, the judge is recorded, and there's a statutory declaration to this effect, as saying, I haven't dismissed it as of yet. I'm just going through the motions because I want to teach them a lesson, but I will clamp down on him when I get back. Now, Your Honour, I fully appreciate this may not be necessary, but nonetheless, it is the background, we say, to the wasted costs order. And it may be, you could say, Your Honour, well, we don't need to get into that, I think you're suggesting to me. But nonetheless, I do submit, on the face of it, this evidence hasn't been contradicted by anyone.
Inside the courtroom today, the spotlight shifted from the personalities involved to a more fundamental question. Is there even a case left for the Caribbean Court of Justice to decide? Attorney Ileana Swift appeared for the Attorney General, while Hector Guerra represented the Elections and Boundaries Commission. But with the general election already over and several of the original disputes now considered moot, the judges pushed past the legal jargon and got to the heart of it. What, if anything, still needs the CCJ's attention? What was once a sprawling legal battle filled with injunctions, appeals, and procedural detours has now boiled down to a single issue: whether 3 separate matters, all struck out at the Court of Appeal, deserve to move forward at the region's highest court.
I believe that it's important to recall where exactly we are in these proceedings. What was before the Court of Appeal was a preliminary objection to a notice of appeal that was filed prior to the order being perfected. So what the applicant is seeking leave to appeal, special leave to appeal, and also to appeal is the striking out of that notice of appeal. The underlying issue with respect to that notice of appeal, we say is now moot. The elections has been held, and as the applicant has accepted, they are no longer seeking that injunction before the High Court. With respect to the second application, which is in relation to the wasted costs, that appeal was struck out because the Court of Appeal found that leave to appeal was required. So in both matters, there was no determination on the substantive issues. With respect to the third application, that application before the Court of Appeal was an application for leave to appeal the CMC order by the learned trial judge with respect to the application for recusal. There was no decision by that judge on the application to recuse. It was a CMC order that was made giving directions on the application.
As the hearing unfolded, one thing became clear. The CCJ isn't just reviewing paperwork. It's trying to determine whether this long-running fight has any live questions left to answer. The Public Utilities Commission is turning up the pressure on Belize's 2 biggest telecom players as BTL pushes ahead with its plan to buy out SpeedNet, even though its own board still hasn't approved the deal. The PUC has now fired off a new round of hard-hitting questions to both companies, signaling that regulators aren't close to signing off just yet. BTL updated its proposal on February 10th, hoping to strengthen its case, but the deeper commission dug, the more red flags and unanswered questions surfaced. So now both BTL and SpeedNet must respond, formally and in writing, by April 13th. And the PUC isn't asking for vague assurances. It wants concrete commitments on what this takeover would mean for the people who actually use these services. Will prices change? Will service drop? What guarantees exist to keep the market fair? How will networks be merged? Is the financial plan solid? In short, the regulator wants to know whether this deal benefits Belizeans or simply reshapes the telecom landscape in ways consumers can't see coming. Every question sent to both companies is now posted online, and for the first time, the PUC is actively inviting customers, Smart and BTL users alike, to weigh in. Put plainly, this deal goes far beyond corporate negotiations. It could reshape how Belize stays connected. Now the Commission wants to hear from the people most affected. Here's another angle. The Public Utilities Commission has signaled that BTL's dominant run in the telecom market is coming to an end. Labeled the country's dominant operator, BTL now faces a slate of reforms aimed at stripping away long-standing advantages and forcing real competition into the market. those changes won't be painless. The PUC expects BTL to lose market share on purpose. And with smaller profits comes hits to the value of SSB and the government of Belize's investment. That reality is one reason BTL has been pushing a different path, buying SpeedNet, the company behind Smart. Supporters say Belize is too small for too expensive, overlapping telecom networks. One company, they argue, could cut duplicate costs, lower prices, and secure the public's investment. But the bigger question still hangs over the entire debate. Is true competition possible or even practical in a country this size? Or would Belize be better off with a single, tightly regulated monopoly that answers to the public? Whichever way it goes, the decision will shape how Belizeans stay connected in the years ahead. Tonight, opposition leader Tracy Panton isn't waiting for her official budget response to speak her mind. She's already taking aim at the glowing picture Prime Minister John Borsenio painted during his budget presentation. Panton says that behind the optimism, the spending plan leans too heavily toward the wealthy and the politically connected, while everyday Belizeans are left struggling with health care gaps, education costs, and the rising cost of living. And she's questioning whether the government's promises on national health insurance and free education can actually deliver what Belizeans have been told to expect. Here's how Panton is putting those pledges under the microscope.
The Prime Minister wanted to suggest this was certainly a time of milk and honey, which is absolutely not the case. The devil, as you know, Shane, is in the details. And as we take some time over the next couple of days to dissect the budget, I think it's going to become very glaring that the only persons that will directly benefit from this budget are those who are the favored few, who get all these large infrastructure projects. You know, the government spoke about a $55 million in terms of health coverage, but we know right now Belizeans are struggling to get adequate health services. I don't see, or I did not hear in the Prime Minister's presentation, what we're going to do to ensure more meaningful employment for young people coming out of tertiary institutions or high schools. Our young people are now relegated to call centers.
Panton believes the deeper budget analysis will expose whether the government's claims truly reflect life on the ground. Coming up, how Ding keeps the Hard Rock boys locked in, one pep talk at a time. But first, here's tonight's weather forecast.
Greetings, Belize. It is my privilege to address you as we officially open Women's Month 2026 under the theme Balance the Scales. This theme is both a challenge and a promise. It calls us to build a Belize where fairness is lived, where dignity is upheld, and where every woman and girl can stand on equal ground. Belizean women are caregivers, community builders, innovators, and entrepreneurs. They shape the young minds of our nation. They are artists, farmers, healers, and leaders. Their resilience anchors families. Their creativity fuels progress, and their leadership moves Belize forward. We honor the diversity of Belizean womanhood, young women, senior women, women with disabilities, and LGBTQ plus women. Each carries a story that strengthens the fabric of our society. As we celebrate, we must also reflect. Balancing the scales means confronting the barriers that still exist: economic inequality, underrepresentation in decision-making, and the continued threat of violence and discrimination. It means examining where inequity appears in our systems, in our policies, and even in our cultural norms, and making deliberate shifts towards fairness. Through the Ministry of Human Development, Family Support, and Gender Affairs, we are strengthening coordinated responses to gender-based violence, expanding family support services, and advancing gender-responsive policies that promote economic participation and leadership for women. As a nation, we remain committed to strengthening protection systems, expanding opportunities, and ensuring equitable access to services, and engaging men and boys as active partners in building respectful communities. When women in Belize are safe, families are stronger. When women are empowered, communities are more resilient. And when girls are supported, our nation's future is secured. Balancing the scales doesn't diminish anyone, it strengthens us all. This Women's Month, let us move beyond symbolism and continue the structural work that ensures equality is not only spoken about, but experienced. Together, let us shift the weight toward justice. Together, let us build a Belize where every woman and girl can rise, contribute, and thrive. Happy Women's Month, Belize.
Rotavirus is a leading cause of severe watery diarrhea and vomiting in young children. It can lead to dangerous dehydration and hospital visits. The good news? The rotavirus vaccine is now available countrywide. It is given in drops at 2, 4, and 6 months of age. Protect your child. Visit your nearest health clinic today.
Your Belize City Council, in collaboration with the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing, would like to update residents on the temporary traffic adjustments that will accompany the upcoming bridge infrastructure upgrades across our city. These major works, running through the 2026 to 2029 period, include the reconstruction of the Belcan Bridge and the Swing Bridge to improve long-term safety and city mobility. To help residents move safely and efficiently, here is the proposed flow of traffic. If you are coming into Belize City from the Philip Colson Highway, drivers are strongly encouraged to use the Chetumal Street Bridge as your main access route. This corridor is designated for highway traffic and heavy vehicles to reduce congestion in Midtown and downtown areas. If you are traveling toward the school zone along Princess Margaret Drive, this area remains accessible directly from the Philip Colson Highway. When traveling south to north through the Belcan Bridge area, traffic will flow one way only over the Evergreen Street Temporary Bridge crossing. Drivers should follow Central American Boulevard to Mahogany Street, continue onto Evergreen Street, and proceed to Philip Colson Highway, then toward Freetown Road. If you are traveling north to south toward downtown, make use of the temporary crossings from Hydes Lane. Traffic will flow one way from Queen Street to New Road into Hydes Lane, then through Regent Street West. Please note that the temporary crossings are designated to accommodate standard-sized vehicles and buses only. Heavy trucks and oversized vehicles will not be permitted to use this route and are advised to use the Chetumal Street Bridge or Bell China Bridge. Both the Bell China Bridge and Chetumal Street Bridge will remain open for two-way traffic and will serve as
Tonight on Belize Unreal, we take you into the heart of the Collet community, where one young man is turning his love for basketball into a lifeline for the boys in his neighborhood. He's not a star athlete or a celebrity coach, just someone who believes the game can change lives. Shane Williams brings us the story of Lynbert Moody, the driving force behind the Hard Rock basketball program, and the quiet hero working every day to keep young men on the court and out of harm's way.
Simple match, and you can just think about it. When the next game begins, you will take the jersey and put it down on your business.
This moment, a firm, no-nonsense pep talk caught on camera at the Pee Wee basketball tournament shows exactly how Lynbert Moody keeps his Hard Rock boys grounded. In a neighborhood where distractions and danger are constant, Moody's tough love is part of the formula. It's how he builds discipline, demands accountability, and keeps his young players focused on something bigger than the streets.
The Hard Rock youth program led by Lynbert Moody, a member of my constituent. It's a really positive program. I've been seeing them doing works from right around COVID time. Before COVID, they were even doing it, and it's just it's a great initiative. It's a great program that I'm happy to support.
Hard Rock is a household name in Belizean basketball, a team known for dominating community tournaments and even testing its talent on international courts. But behind the trophies and standout players, including national team athlete Devin Moody, is someone most fans would never expect. The driving force of this powerhouse program isn't a high-profile coach or former pro. It's Lynbert Ding Moody, the quiet stadium caretaker at the National Sports Council who has built champions through sheer passion and grit.
I grew up back here, and the only program we had that this guy Larry, Mr. Larry, poor famous. And actually, he and one person the same thing. We never had nothing. The young man had run about it, idling himself, catching a trouble, had a hang about it. So when he started the league program back here, they were then a more league boy, poor famous. We know him, the queen as same thing. The street young man, they run about, play league football, basketball, bicycle. And I say that's the only way I help you out a lot, meaning you keep up for it. Even though they're out there, they do positive thing. And like I said, the young man, they come up on the court sometimes, never do nothing. They come play ball, but when they play ball, the idleness come in. And the trouble started coming, so then I started saying, I want to stay amongst them. Just for guide them, for make them not do fool. Like I said, that the coaching part coming actually, whereby they turn for us, guide them, for not do fool upon the court till they start to listen.
Devin Daly knows firsthand the value of sports programs like the Hard Rock Basketball Club. As the area representative, he supports this initiative now, but he says the goal is to make backing grassroots programs a formal part of the national agenda.
With the changing times, it gives them a home away from home. It allows them to feel like they belong somewhere, and it's ultimately a safe space. Yes, it's in these communities that we all grew up in, but it gives them something to look forward to outside of the classroom. That's not necessarily the most structured, but the impact level, it's significant. I believe we need more of them, and while talking to you, I just came up with the idea. As the Minister of State for Youth and Sports, a grassroots recognition program targeting members from communities who the community identify as stalwarts and trailblazers who are spearheading these youth initiatives.
Running a community sports club demands huge sacrifices, pouring in personal resources, spending long hours away from loved ones, and taking on roles far beyond any job description. Moody steps in as a counselor, big brother, provider, and when he must, disciplinarian. But why does he sacrifice so much when so little is available to give?
For me, I really continue, like I said, I do this for my neighborhood. My neighborhood, collect division, we go on the street, like we don't we don't really get much back here. So we get overlooked by a lot. First thing I say, I come from the get here, I come from the good. So like I said, we keep me going a lot, but the kids now, but to my community, like I said, I start off with 12 picnic, my libera me included. Just the man around, we go and through that, we grow by the years. Like I said, for right now, if you look behind me, that was 10 years old, 10 years old, I guess mainly that they keep me going, because like I said, I'm about to give up for this year. But but they show continuously, then they come out, then they show the work, dedication. Like I said, they look up to the whole of guys we pass through.
Too often we wait until it is too late to give people their flowers. Lindbergh Moody is one of several unsung heroes we will be highlighting in Belize Unreal this month.
Continue the work we're doing. I will increase the support that I have given to you. That is my vow to yourself and the community. And it's admirable what you've been doing without recognition. So, shout out to you.
Shane Williams reporting for News 5.
Up next, Empower Her Symposium lights a fire under the next generation of female leaders.
Bet and a Bet and Brothers a Bet, we've always proudly celebrated Women's Month. This year, we celebrate women keeping the balance at home, at work, and in their communities. That's why all March long, all women receive 15% off store-wide, from paints to plumbing and everything in between. Plus 30 to 65% off lots more deals on sale and clearance. With trusted experience, top quality products, and service that's second to none, we're here to support women every step of the way. Visit or call us today. Happy Women's Month from all of us at Bet and a Bet and Brothers a Bet, doing our part to balance the scales.
Kite flying is fun, but it can also be dangerous. Fly kites safely by following these tips. Never use wire, metallic thread, or wire-reinforced strings. You could be electrocuted. Remember, even a safely built kite can cause a power outage if it gets caught in a power line. Always use paper, plastic, or wood to build kites. Never fly kites near power lines, in the path of traffic, aircrafts, or near highways. Always fly kites with a responsible adult, in open areas, in dry weather, and with clear visibility. Never attempt to remove your kite from a power line. Always call BEL at 0800-235-2273 if your kite gets caught in a power line. Belize Electricity Limited. We care about your safety.
Nestled away in the quaint Belize River Valley, Black Orchid's Panda River Restaurant offers a variety of great dining areas and experiences with an excellent variety of local and international cuisine, with healthy meal options for vegans and those with health concerns. Your delectable dining can be topped off with our excellent desserts, natural fruit juices, and exquisite wine and drink options. All prepared by our certified chef and award-winning mixologist. Come to Panda River Restaurant and River Rum Bar to relax in the pool or use our excellent conference facilities combined with great dining.
A diamond in the jungle. Over the past 5 years, Digi has invested more than $17 million to revolutionize Belize's digital future. Our advanced 4G LTE network and expanded fiber infrastructure have empowered vital road arteries, connected the farthest valleys and fertile farmlands, linked the bustling cities to the remote keys, and brought cutting-edge connectivity to schools, businesses, healthcare centers, and tourist destinations, fueling economic growth, enhancing education,
and strengthening communities across the nation. By choosing Digi, you're leading Belize's digital transformation, bridging distances, opening opportunities, and empowering every corner of our beautiful country. Connect with Digi. Empower Belize.
The Belize Tax Service has been serving the country well since its inception. But like many tax administration systems worldwide, it faces new challenges that require modern solutions. The Semi-Autonomous Revenue Authority, SARA, will be established by legislation that will modernize how Belize administers taxes. Countries across our region, Jamaica, Barbados, and Guyana, have undertaken similar efforts at modernization, and we're using their experiences, successes, and challenges to design a SARA specific to our tax landscape. SARA will operate under the Ministry of Finance with an advisory board comprised of experts in finance, tax, law, and public administration who will provide sound guidance while maintaining the required oversight of public funds. SARA will provide the framework for modernizing tax administration, improving the way we serve taxpayers, and supporting Belize's development. A semi-autonomous revenue authority, SARA, will create opportunities for improving human resource management, accelerating digital transformation that reduces turnaround time and paperwork, and providing more responsive customer service while maintaining strict accountability standards. SARA, a progressive tax administration for a modern Belize.
Your Belize City Council, in collaboration with the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing, would like to update residents on the temporary traffic adjustments that will accompany the upcoming bridge infrastructure upgrades across our city. These major works, running through the 2026 to 2029 period, include the reconstruction of the Belcan Bridge and the Swing Bridge to improve long-term safety and city mobility. To help residents move safely and efficiently, here is the proposed flow of traffic. If you are coming into Belize City from the Philip Colson Highway, drivers are strongly encouraged to use the Chetumal Street Bridge as your main access route. This corridor is designated for highway traffic and heavy vehicles to reduce congestion in Midtown and downtown areas. If you are traveling toward the school zone along Princess Margaret Drive, this area remains accessible directly from the Philip Colson Highway. When traveling south to north through the Belcan Bridge area, traffic will flow one way only over the Evergreen Street Temporary Bridge crossing. Drivers should follow Central American Boulevard to Mahogany Street, continue onto Evergreen Street, and proceed to Philip Colson Highway, then toward Freetown Road. If you are traveling north to south toward downtown, make use of the temporary crossings from Hydes Lane. Traffic will flow one way from Queen Street to New Road into Hydes Lane, then through Regent Street West. Please note that the temporary crossings are designated to accommodate standard-sized vehicles and buses only. Heavy trucks and oversized vehicles will not be permitted to use this route and are advised to use the Chetumal Street Bridge or Bell China Bridge. Both the Bell China Bridge and Chetumal Street Bridge will remain open for two-way traffic and will serve as important relief routes for all commuters, including emergency access across the city. Residents should also plan travel carefully around peak congestion periods. Traffic is expected to be extremely busy between 6:30 to 8:30 a.m., 11:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m., and 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Whenever possible, adjust travel times to avoid these peak windows. Parking restrictions along Evergreen Street and Hydes Lane will be in place to keep traffic flowing safely. Please follow all traffic signs and guidance from traffic officers. We understand that these adjustments will require patience. However, these temporary measures are necessary to deliver safer, stronger, and more resilient infrastructure for Belize City's future. Together, we will navigate this transition and build a better connected city. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, texts, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio, 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
A late-night police operation in Gales Point, Manatee has ignited a different kind of firestorm. One centered not on the arrests themselves, but on what allegedly happened after 2 young men were detained. Norman Bowen and Kizan Williams are still in police custody, but the spotlight has shifted to the officers involved. Bowen, his arm now in a cast and sling for a fractured wrist, says he was beaten so badly he lost consciousness, suffering injuries to his knees, back, and mouth. His sister Diana Slusher claims she tried to intervene, only to be slapped so hard by an officer that she blacked out and had to be revived with water. The allegations have moved quickly up the chain. The Professional Standards Bureau has already launched an investigation, while the family's attorney, Norman Rodriguez, prepares not only for the criminal case against the young men, but also potential civil action against the department.
My instructions are that there were 5 officers, 2 BDF officers and 3 police officers, but the driver remained in the vehicle, and the BDF officers did not indulge themselves in that kind of behavior. They stood by and respected that the police was in control, and it was a corporal and a regular police officer who inflicted the beating on Norman and Mr. Slusher.
After receiving their injuries, were they detained?
Yes, they were detained, and Mr. Bowen was taken to the hospital, but he has instructed me that he was afraid to go with the same officers because of the threats that were made against him. But yes, they were detained, and up to at this point I believe that they're still detained, and I have had some indication that charges will be levied, at least 1 charge against each of them.
For what?
My understanding, it might be for some gun charge, but Mr. Williams has, and he showed surprise, and he said he wanted to just find out from the officers what is the reason for his detention, because he knows that he's not guilty of anything, as Mr. Bowen has indicated. A request was made for Mr. Bowen to be taken back to the hospital as he complained of pain in his chest from beating that he took in that area. My understanding that he was hit so bad last night with a boot, or a foot in a boot, I should say, that he lost consciousness. The allegations are being made, and even the officers who are alleged to have committed the acts, they have a right to the due process. But one thing the police department has to understand, and I believe that the police department itself does understand, that they are law enforcers to the point that they take complaints, investigate, and charge. Punishment is for a judge after a person has been found guilty. There's no reason for any officer to get angry to that point that you will believe that you have the right to inflict injuries on people. And if at the end of the investigation, if that is found to be, I am sure that the Belize Police Department will address it.
Women across Belize are pushing past long-standing barriers and taking their place in boardrooms, businesses, and leadership roles once dominated by men. Today, Beltrade brought together dozens of those trailblazers for its 3rd Empower Her Symposium in Belize City, a space designed to inspire, mentor, and equip the next generation of female leaders. News 5's Shane Williams takes us inside the event to show how this growing movement is helping women step into leadership with confidence and claim the opportunities they deserve.
Entrepreneurs, executives, and young aspiring leaders from across the country gathered for Beltrade's third Empower Her Symposium, where the message was clear: women belong at the decision-making table. The event brings together women from across Belize to share experiences, build networks, and gain tools designed to strengthen leadership skills in the workplace and in business.
It's a 2-day event that covers a series of topics essential for a woman to grow in their career, in their business, or whichever endeavors they're pursuing. We have curated an agenda that covers key topics such as emotional intelligence, health and wellness, transformational leadership, financial empowerment, and we had today a very powerful fireside chat with Ms. Marlene Coyar, of course.
For many participants, the symposium is about learning how to navigate the real challenges women often face when stepping into leadership roles. Susan Ferguson is one of the participants breaking down barriers.
For me, this empowerment have definitely had me to reflect back. As women, we tend to make things look a little easy. I had to drop out of school at the age of 17 due to teenage pregnancy. But because of my determination and to show that I am more than just a statistics, I went back and finished my diploma, got my degree, and last week Friday I graduated from the MIU University with my master's degree.
And now she runs one of the most critical NGOs in the country, the Belize Emergency Response Team.
As you know, I do run an NGO that comes with its many challenges. And so what I want to do is to reach out and to get the right support that we need so that we can continue to do what we were designed to do, to continue safe life. That's the purpose of birth.
Across Belize, women are increasingly launching businesses, leading organizations, and shaping their communities. But advocates say support systems and mentorship opportunities remain critical to sustaining that progress.
I believe that women, like men, should be celebrated not only during the month of March, but during this month we are bringing to the forefront that women are critical. They're important in all sectors of society. We always talk about women taking up spaces in all places, and I think this month is especially critical for us to reignite that in all sectors in society. And I can safely say that the women in our country need to continue to be at the forefront. They need to let their voices be heard, and we need to empower upcoming women to ensure that we are taking up spaces in all the places where possible, and we need to especially fill spaces in government, fill spaces in health, and fill spaces in the media as well.
Organizers say the Empower Her initiative is ensuring that the next generation of Belizean women are prepared not just to participate in the economy, but to lead.
We have managed to train around 150 women that have stepped up in leadership roles, women that have created a network that they can count on each other in terms of mentorship. So that mentorship has been established and that education has been spreading. So I think that's the start of a bigger change that can come through this training.
Shane Williams reporting for News 5.
Still ahead, why the Keecocker Crocodiles are locking horns with the local rugby union tonight.
Forward-thinking farmer ready to adopt climate-smart practices? The future of farming is resilient, sustainable, and profitable, and we're here to help you achieve just that. Whether cultivating half an acre or 200 acres, DFC offers affordable financing options and a matching grant up to $12,000 for Window 1 and up to $60,000 for Window 2 to help make your farm climate smart, withstand unpredictable weather patterns, and adapt practices that enhance productivity and efficiency. This program is ideal for farmers and cooperatives. Women farmers are highly encouraged to take advantage. Join us in creating a resilient and sustainable agricultural future for Belize. Apply now and take the next step towards a stronger, greener tomorrow.
In the heart of the Kayo district, Calico Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When Calico Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the Telecom Development Fund, small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easier for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like Calico Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we are powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
What happens when you step off the edge?
Too late to back out now.
He said I'm ready. No, I'm not. And land somewhere unexpected. Sometimes it breaks you open. Wild at root?
That is very bitter.
But sweet on the tongue. Where history calls out, and you answer with open arms. This isn't just a journey, it's across borders.
That was amazing! That's me. My data done, and I really need to get my order out today.
Really? Well, you can join our Smart Group plan.
Really? How that work?
Easy, let me tell you.
Whether it's family, friends, or your small business, we've got the perfect plan for every group. More members equals more savings, more connections. Smart Group plans bring the connectivity you love to you and your circle. No one gets left behind. Explore Share One package option and add on unlimited data, calls, and SMS for the entire group for less than $50 per member. Visit any Smart showroom countrywide or email sales@speednet-wireless.com to sign up today. Smart, bringing people together.
It's an old story. Progress often brings its own problems. The Collet constituency has seen significant infrastructure works over the last year. Streets that have long been neglected have undergone comprehensive surface and drainage upgrades. While residents are appreciative of the long-requested attention, there is now a concern about speeding vehicles. Here is Devin Daly on the works taking place and the always vocal community activist Bernard Dubout-Thomas with a message for motorists passing through the Collet constituency.
The message was, give Devin Daly a chance, Devin Daly that wanna we. And we showed them a snapshot of what leadership under Devin Daly would look like. And in the 12 months I've been in office, we've done 8 or 9 streets. We're doing some more.
I really love the street, and I just hope the drivers do not abuse the street and hurt one another on the street, because the street they can't go and no break. And the people that drive today, the street got gravel. And these drivers, they like these kids on the street and they can't break span gravel. They will kill themselves. So all know by the way the driver are going to stupid by harassing go on the street. Me sorry for running a bus in the face open going to stupid. This street have to drive hard pan. This street have to drive with sense until the lead rock then come off. Cause you can't brake span this. You can't brake span this. So I tell the driver and the driver too, to beware. Do it right. Cause you not lose on your own life take a bossy. On a pretty vehicle. On a stupid thinking. Mr. Double said because I see.
Daly says additional programs ongoing in the community include land clinics, immigration clinics, and grocery bag programs. A simmering dispute in Belize's Rugby community has boiled over tonight after the Keecocker Crocodiles Rugby Club was suddenly suspended by the Rugby Football Union of Belize. The fallout began when the union ordered the team to take down social media posts featuring the Rugby Belize logo. Branding the RFUB says was used without permission. But the Crocodiles pushed back, arguing Rugby Belize is a registered private company and a legitimate sponsor. That standoff quickly escalated into a full suspension from all rugby activities in the country. Today, Rugby Belize owner Tony Gillings told News 5 he's disappointed in the union's move, warning that decisions like this are driving the sport backward at a time when it desperately needs support, not division.
The rugby governing body, I guess, they have gotten all twisted up because I'm using the logo of my company, which is Rugby Belize, who are one of the main sponsors of the Keecocker Crocodiles Rugby Club. Previously, Rugby Belize was the founding body for rugby in this country. It's the thing I started 10 years ago. And I then, after 10 years of running rugby, I registered that logo as a private business. And when I left the governing body, I took that logo and the business with me and set up the company. So the idea was that I would then sponsor a rugby club, and that's exactly what I'm doing. But the rugby governing body, which is run by a group of people based in San Ignacio, don't like that. And they try to tell us that I can't use my logo even though I'm a sponsor. And I've told them over and over and over again that I'm not a governing body, I'm just a sponsor, and they just don't seem to understand. So we're basically just going to ignore them and carry on doing what we have been doing. If there was a number of rugby clubs in Belize, then essentially they could stop us participating in those tournaments. But there are no rugby clubs in Belize. There's just one based in San Ignacio, and they've never had a tournament. So I don't really know what they can stop us doing. I think they're trying to flex muscles they don't have, because they have no authority to stop a club seeking sponsors. They have no authority to tell a club you can't use sponsors' logos, and they've no tournaments, which is why we're going to go ahead. We're going to have a beach rugby tournament in Keecocker, and there's nothing they can do to stop us.
To register as a rugby club in Belize, each club must adhere to the constitution of the rugby governing body. The Constitution states that any rugby club that joins them has to recognize the supremacy of the governing body as the national governing body, which Gilling claims he has never denied or acted against. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.